Hey everybody, welcome to another weekly upload of Vacuum Exposition. And boy, do we have a fun little one to look at today. It's kind of a special machine for me, so I'm glad to be getting it out again. So without further ado, let's get on to today's video. All right, everybody. So we're looking at another canister vacuum. Technically, we are looking at a product from Hoover. Now, this model is a little bit different than your generic Hoover tank vacuum cleaner. This happens to be essentially a version of Hoover's Portapower. Now, the Portapower would have been released as the Swingette and a couple other names throughout history, and that came out towards the beginning mid-70s time frame. This one is a little bit later than that. Now, this one, and I'm going to point right here as to why this is a special model. That states JCPenneys on it. Now, for those that don't know, and I'm sure we'll get into plenty of them because I'm a humongous fan of JCPenneys labeled machines, JCPenneys had a contract with Hoover, as well as Eureka, for different vacuum cleaners here and there, and they essentially said that they would sell their products as long as they had their name on it. So this is a JCPenneys model 5545, and this would have been a Portapower model, C or something, Hoover. So this particular model came out in 1982, and I'll show an ad for it right here. Now, as you can see, this is a 1.7 peak horsepower. So this was a hot rod back then. So, but these machines, in all seriousness, did a lot of work. For people that didn't have carpets, it was great. For people that had, little apartments that, with all hard floors, awesome machines. They had a ton of power. The early machines actually had an upright motor in it. It was just in a tiny little box with a hose on the end. This one also continued for the next about 2 or 3 years until it would be later replaced by the Eureka Mighty Mite in about 1986-ish or so. And then I believe Hoover was able to sell the Portapower under its own name through JCPenneys as well as others after that. But either way, this little machine I got from Mitchell Armstrong. It was one I got on a trade with him a long time ago now, but it is still a really cool little machine. I'm super stoked to have it. But this is considered a straight suction canister. There's no electrical anything. There's no power nozzle. It's literally just nozzle, extension, hose, machine. And this had a little paper bag that went inside. Commercial machines actually had a reusable one, which I find very cool. And I have one like that. But now I was fortunate to get this one with its little attachment caddy right here. A lot of times those go missing because you can remove the hose from it, as well as the attachments can go bye-bye. I mean, it was lucky that we also had the original floor nozzle too, because I say that this is original because if you look at it, there's no branding on it. Normally the Hoover ones have a Hoover logo right here in the middle, but this one doesn't. So very basic floor nozzle. You just have a brush that is able to be extended or not. So not a whole lot of frills or thrills. Anyways, and then as you can read in this little ad, I'll show it right here. This is two-tone gray. So, man, the colors are just jumping out at you, I know. But let's get on to our run demo. It won't, groom the carpet like a power nozzle would, but still, it's a really cool little machine. So let's see how she does. All right, so essentially in demonstrating this, you could just have it sit there and vacuum where you would, but there's also ways that you can sling this over your shoulder or just carry it around with it. It's pretty light, which is probably how I'm going to actually demonstrate it today. Holding it. that is the performance of the Portapower. Now, before we end the demo, there's something that they always used to do that the salesman loved to demonstrate because of the power of this machine. So I'm going to do it real quick for you. As you can see, it has plenty of power to keep itself held to a wall. Very cool little trick. I love to do it when I have one of these out. But I hope you enjoyed our little demo here. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed our little video on the 1982 JCPenneys 5545 Hoover Portapower. It really is a really cool little machine, and I'm really stoked that Mitchell was willing to trade it off to me, because it's definitely one of my favorite of these little tiny compact machines. I have a few more that we'll probably go over at some point, as well as others, but you know, this is a really cool machine. I'm glad I was able to share it with you guys today, and you know what? We'll see you next week.